Alright guys, so we are now headed to Cars and Coffee that my friend is hosting, but on the way there I got a check light and it's showing oil, so engine oil. I did Google that a little while ago what the engine oil light meant. It means it's either low on oil or I guess the sensor's bad. So I'm gonna exit here. I'm not real worried about it. I'm assuming the oil pressure is good, but I'm gonna pull into Wawa and check my oil and see if I am just low on oil.
My name is Zach Ellis and welcome to my journey. I don't know where I'm going or how I'm going to get there, but I'm going to be tearing shit up every step of the way. Along with a few friends, of course. Honestly, I don't know what I'm doing. I'll be building, modifying, repairing, fabricating, and racing every chance I get. But if you enjoy this content, don't forget to smash the subscribe button and of course, enjoy the video.
I was driving her a little hard, I will admit. Pretty much flat out through like the first 4 gears, so I'm sure the car probably didn't hate that, but probably didn't love that either. Cool. Let's check our oil level. Alright, false alarm. The car was in fact a quart low. Alright guys, we are all finished up at my friend's Cars and Coffee. It was a pretty good turnout. There was probably 40 people there. The E30 gets a lot of love. People love this thing. Even I just stopped at Wawa. Old guy gives me the thumbs up. I was driving to the car show. Some guy gives me the thumbs up. They love the classics, which I love it. So I love that other people love it. Alright, so getting up under here, right up here on the passenger side of the engine is where the oil filter and drain plug are. So drain plug, bottom of the oil pan obviously, and then oil filter right there. This whole side of the engine, very oily. Where it's coming from, hard to say. Looking up in there, oil's coming past from where the oil filter is. So maybe the valve cover gasket is the main culprit. It's hard to say from here. I think I'm gonna go ahead though. We're gonna change the oil now. When the valve cover gasket gets here, I'm gonna change the valve cover gasket, clean the engine, and then we'll look and see if that eliminates a lot of the oil leaks. If it doesn't, we're just gonna work our way down. And then to get to all the pulleys, I gotta remove this heat shield here, which is held in by, looks like a 10mm nut and then 2 Phillips head screws. And then on this side, it's 10mm nut, or 1 10mm nut and 2 Phillips head screws as well. So we're gonna go ahead, pull those off, and then we'll look at the pulleys on this thing. So we got the oil filter in, drain plug is inside. Now we can hop to the top side and have a little more controversial conversation, I guess, about the oil that I'm going to use in this engine. Now, we have got the oil filter and the drain plug installed. The next thing we got to talk about is the oil that I'm going to use in the engine today. I have ordered the oil change stuff, but it's not here yet. And in the interest of not blowing my shit up or running really old oil, I went to the hardware store and bought some stuff. I didn't do my Googling, which I probably should have. So I just went in there and I asked the guy, hey, what oil do I run? They told me 5W30. I didn't think anything of it. That's what I run in my SRT4 in the wintertime. So I was like, hey, we should be good. Did a little Googling, and everyone said for summertime and racing applications, you should run 5W50. So I picked up some of this. There was already 1 quart in the trunk, which is what this is. I thought, man, 20W50 seems kind of absurd. Then I realized this is what people run in the summertime and for track racing. I don't plan on riding the car super hard. I don't plan on racing the car, at least not anytime soon. So I don't think the 5W30 is going to be detrimental. And I think I might even add the 20W50 that I already have and then top off the engine with the 5W30. I don't know if that's a bad idea or a good idea. I've mixed oils in the past and I've never had any issues even when I'm racing. So that's what we're going to do today. Add the 20W50 and then top off with the 5W30. And then we'll get this thing started and put back on the ground. Alright, cool. Now that we've got the engine oil done, topped off level, we know we're good to go. Next thing is to try and knock out the tension on the alternator. So I'm going to start by removing the air box. Once the air box is removed, then we'll look at the alternator and see what exactly I have to do to tension it. There is a little room for it to apply more tension in the swing of it, so we should be able to put just a little bit more on there so we don't have to worry about any ridiculous squealing anymore. So, in the last video I talked about the signal wire that comes off of cylinder 6 was coiled up and not plugged in anything. Well, I found where it went yesterday or the other day and I saw it was cut. Now I had access to it. I went ahead and removed it. I'm going to plug this thing back in after I finish tensioning the alternator and seeing if it helps stabilize the idle. I know I said in the last few videos I found some things like a performance chip that has been installed on the car, and I don't know if the performance chip required this to be deleted. I don't see why that would be, but I don't really know. So I'm going to go ahead, tension this alternator, and then we'll worry about that. So before I tension it, I just wanted to show you guys how much play really is in this line, this belt. So I mean, that's over an inch of deflection. So we're gonna go ahead and tension her up. I just realized that the alternator is actually loose in here. I don't know if it's loose because of the top or loose because of the bottom. That must be causing my squeak. Let me go underneath and see if I can figure it out. So once you have the 13 millimeter on the back side of back top side of the alternator loosen, you can put a 19mm socket on the adjuster bolt. Oops, wrong way. And you basically just want to lefty loosey it to put a little more tension on the belt. Now you don't need to King Kong that thing down. You do not need it to be that tight. So you check it. Much better. So we got that done. I've got to cut that signal wire off of the cylinder 6 spark plug, route it through to this connector, then we can button this thing all back up and see if we can get her to run. So here is the signal wire that I was talking about. It's connected right there. Someone coiled it up and zip tied it together. I don't really know why they did that. I don't know what the benefits is of this, but we're gonna hook it back up and see if it makes the car idle differently. If it does, then we know we fixed something. If it doesn't, I guess we'll revert it back to the way it was and let the car idle like that until we solve the mystery. Alright, we got the cable connected. It is not routed properly. Again, we're just confirming that it works. So we're going to throw the intake back in. Not going to bolt it in, we're just going to put the hose clamp on and give her a test fire. Alright, so the car is idling. There's no check engine or anything like that on the dash. The idle still sounds choppy. The RPMs are doing the same thing again. So when I first started the car, it was idling at 800 maybe. Now it's at 1300. It just gets higher and higher and keeps bouncing higher and higher. And then when I blip the throttle under the hood, it drops RPM and then picks back up. I guess the only other thing I can do is remove the throttle body and clean that out. I don't think I'm going to do it today, only because I ordered a new throttle body gasket, but if I take it off now, the gasket gets real and I can't drive the car. Alright guys, so we got everything done on the E30. I went ahead, pulled it outside. I got the SRT4 back in here. Overall, the car is in decent shape. Oil change went super smoothly. There are a bunch of leaks on the engine. I'm trying to decide on whether, once it gets really hot out or this winter, if I want to pull the engine out, drop the front subframe, weld in all the gussets that you can get from, I think it's called Garagistic, to be strengthen up the front end of the car and then do all like a I guess an engine overhaul, if you will, or if I just want to replace the gaskets that I can get to, see if that fixes the leak and then leave it in there. I haven't really decided, but other than that guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any recommendations, please leave it in the comment section down below, or if there's anything you noticed on the car while I was doing what I was doing, and you think I should address it, definitely, again, leave it in the comment section down below. And obviously, if you like this content, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you're interested in seeing the journey of the car, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be posting about this car a lot here in the near future. And the SRT4, I'm still going to post about it, but I'm probably going to do more of the racing events. I'm going to try not to do too many more modifications as far as power goes to the car.
just because I enjoy the reliability aspect of it. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.